Before the famous Oscar Tokat took place, Will Smith was reported to return for the sequel to the I Am Legend, and Michael B. Jordan was a common star. Unfortunately, many things were not said after the first news appeared. However, with the permission of the original film director Francis Lawrence, an update came, and was honest that Smith, the filmmaker, knows about the long-awaited science fiction tracking. Given the way Francis Lawrence was terminated in the past, I Am Legend opposed the continuation of the past. Of course, his views could not prevent Warner Brothers from preparing a new idea for the franchise. As of now, Lawrence himself does not depend on managing the sequel in hell for a while. Although he was not connected to the film, he chatted with Akiva Goldsman, the author of the first film. The famous filmmaker comicbook.com spoke about the situation of the sequel, and fans may not be very excited. I talked a little bit with Akiva Goldsman, but I think it's still far away. I would love to do it. I heard some things about my legend. Actually, there is not much, just something for Constantine is a brainstorming, but I swear to the legend. Unfortunately, it sounds a little bit for the movie. But there is some good news here, because Francis Lawrence seems to be interested in directing the film if things come together. If he had taken the concert, he would represented a solid part of creative continuity for production. Nevertheless, there are many questions that surround that I Am Legend 2 in terms of narration. For example, can the character of Will Smith's Robert Neville and Michael B. Jordan somehow connected? Will the film take place before or after the events of the first installment? There is also a matter whether Night Mutants will still come forward. Some may doubt whether Smith will return, but it is really possible. You can look at the end of the alternative end of Neville, where the final is escaped from the Fate explosion, and the survivors reach the camp of the survivors. Manufacturers can get this ending back to this end to make it a real follow-up. If this was to be handled ineffectively, he could mix some filmmakers. Francis Lawrence is at least consumed with the continuation of Constantine, while considering this project. This WB production will mark Keanu Reeves, which will reappear, and will take part in the beloved supernatural detective. For the elephants, the water director will manage the follow-up by punishing the script of Akiva Goldsman. While the legendary fans wait to hear more about the sequel, everyone connected to him and the original film are busy. Francis Lawrence was also busy with other things. Currently, the fantasy adventure that hit Netflix on November 18th is preparing for the release of Slumberland. Lawrence recently shot on Hunger Games spin-off, Songbirds and Snakes. Akiva Goldsman has prepared the anthology series The Crowded Room, which will be available through an Apple TV Plus subscription. On December 9th, Will Smith is preparing to release The Salvation, which will make premiere in Apple. There is no need to say, it may be for a while to get out of the ground for the sequel. One can hope that there is an earlier movement in the film, not later. Meanwhile, the first film can be published using an HBO Max subscription. You can also look at CinemaBlend's 2022 film program to see what new productions will be by the end of the year.